Hello. This video is inspired by Austin McConnell. I saw one of his videos about useless information, and I thought it was funny, so here's 10 minutes of useless information about my game Bonk Universe. The texture of the Celestial Guardian was inspired by the skull of an Australopithecus boisei, which is an ancient race of humans which had a mohawk in its skull. To make it look more scary, goat horns were then added to the side of it, and the original picture of the skull looks like this. The worlds are non-Euclidean, and so if you walk around the world, then the diameter will be 2 times its radius. However, if you go in a straight line through the planet, then the diameter will be 3 times the radius. There are exactly 42 universes in the inner 3 rings of the multiverse. There is a 1 in 11 chance, or a 9.09% chance, that a world is infected. Platinum ore has an ID of 100, which means it is roughly the 100th item or block that I added. Likewise, jungle weeds has an ID of 420. The weakest material that you can craft tools and armor out of is butter, which is only found on cheese worlds. And on very cold worlds, you can find oceans of oil. There are 30 different types of personalities that a Celestial can have, and each Celestial has 5 personalities, being a main personality, a hidden personality, and 3 more for when they're low health. In the Shipbuilder app of the Digital Dimension, the floor is made out of Void Grid, which was inspired by the Crystal Dimension from Orespawn, which I saw in a popular MMOs video. If you land on the sun, the surface will be hot. This heat will light you on fire and you will probably die. There are 39 different animations for the main menu background screen. A galaxy chunk is 16,000 by 16,000 units, while a normal chunk is only 16 by 16 blocks wide. The second frame of the flying texture for a raven looks like this. The dragon NPC was originally copy-pasted from the queen bee, and then modified. In the early days of the pre-alpha releases, the textures for the ores made Bonk Universe look like a Mineclone ripoff. Once I played Terraria for the first time, it inspired me to change the ore texture, so now most ores are an upscaled version of their material. Since a vehicle like a car or a spaceship is technically considered a planet, if you somehow leave the bounding box of the vehicle and go to a different face, you can actually find 4 parallel universes of the vehicle. The file format used to store data about your world is called the GTFO format, and this is supposed to make it harder for hackers to break the game. The Rogue Forest biome has a celestial color of 30-30-30, which gives it a dark view from the star map. At level 7,823 of the backworlds, you'll find these weird repeating diamond patterns. A water bottle will heal 1 hit point and put out any fire effect that you have. If you were to rank the amount of times a word shows up in the codebase of Bonk Universe, you would get a graph that looks somewhat like this. We can also see that the word cheese is mentioned 41 times. When you go fishing in Bonk Universe, instead of just instantly catching something, you will enter a Pokemon-themed battle with that fish, where your Pokemon is the fishing hook. And that looks something like this. As of recording, it's not fully done yet. A virus entity has a 1 in 13 chance of dropping a virus ring, and when a marble uses the virus ring, it is 2 times stronger than a normal ring for its material that it's made of. A bat can drop between 1 and 5 soul orbs when it dies. Pre-alpha 0.3 was released by accident with Big Chungus in the skybox, so version 0.3.1 was made to get rid of it. When a flower gets a random block update, it will try spreading to a new random air block with a grass block under it, in the same chunk that it was ticked in. In order to keep the game at a small file size, a flower cannot leave its chunk, and chunks with no block changes made by the player will not get updates. 1 in 100 oak leaves will drop an apple, in which 1 of 10 apples are bad apples, and if you eat one you will get a bad headache. Speaking of which, the longest Java file in this project is the bad apple data class with 6,602 lines of code, where main menu background screen is the second place at 1,583 lines. The derpy eye texture, which is one of the eyes that you can use in the player customization screen, has a file size of 175 bytes, making it the largest eye texture file size. The max stack size for most items is 32,767, which is 1 less than 2 to the power of 15. The third entity in the Entity Registry class is the Thunderbolt. If you land on a comet, you will receive the Comet Catcher Steam achievement, and you will land on a biome made out of pure gold. When making a new player, the game will search for planets in your solar system with the closest temperature to 69 degrees. The central black hole at the galactic center has a size between 90 billion and 180 billion blocks, making it the largest naturally found celestial that you can land on. The largest size a sun can be is only 2 billion blocks, and the largest rocky planet size is only 385 million blocks. In contrast, the smallest normal world size is 1 million blocks, but in the digital dimension, the digital god can make a world that's only 100 blocks in radius. As of right now, lucky blocks only have 5 possible drops. The Haunted Star entity, which is found in meteor showers from when a comet hits a world, can do 20 damage per hit. Currently, a builder can trade you 1 stone if you give him 20 gold coins. This is temporary, but I accidentally added it to version 0.5. A new entity will try spawning every single tick. Most of these spawn attempts will fail. Despite the multiplayer of Bonk Universe being a real-time game, most of the multiplayer code was copy-pasted from World War Chess, my first game. A nebula is just another celestial that is drawn 60 times larger than it actually is, and it's just there to make the galaxy look pretty. If you touch uranium ore, then you will be poisoned, but if you break uranium ore and carry it, you will be completely fine. The most common biome in the universe is the Stone Barrens, because it is the default biome used when no other biomes can spawn there. When you're standing on the rings of a planet, you will take drowning damage because there is no air. You can breathe if you bring a scuba ring. When you touch a backdoor, you move 1 block in the Z-axis, which looks like a new Backworlds level. You can craft a toilet out of any material. Diamond toilets are not better than ruby or iron toilets, even though on average, diamond is a better material. You can find the tanzanite material in purple desert biomes. When you touch a cactus, you will take 2 damage per tick, unless you are wearing a cactus ring, which makes you immune to cactus damage. If you want to win a snowball fight, you can use a snow blaster, which is like a snowball gun. You can also use ice balls, which are like snowballs but do damage. A soccer ball entity has 10,000 health, making it the highest health of any killable entity. However, the Solar Guardian, which is found at the center of a star, has 8,000 health and 7.5 armor, which makes it slightly tougher than a soccer ball. The largest bug that has been annoying development is that the y-coordinate on a planet is inverted. Your y-coordinate is actually negative, but we just put a minus sign in front of it to make it look correct in the coordinates that are drawn to screen. The Infector of Souls is a type of worm that spawns with 18 to 42 segments, and will deal 14 damage, as well as poison you for 8 seconds if its face touches you. Every once in a while, a falling sand entity will start jiggling. When you light a nuke, you have 15 seconds to run before it blows up. The coordinate system for Bonk Universe was inspired by Fractal Block World, which is a game not to be confused with Fractal World, the Minecraft mod I made and got my terrain generation regex code from. The original sketch of the dragon texture looked like this. The Lanse jacket skin option is the actual jacket that I wear quite often. It looks like this. I also have previous jackets which look nearly identical to this one. So yeah, thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed. I'm just about to release a Kickstarter for Bonk Universe, so if you would like to help development, make sure to check that out. And also make sure to whitelist the game on Steam, because the Steam page is now up. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!